Judges, how are you? My name is Connor Arsenal and I am the founder of UniFiT. As you can see, my shirt is too small. I bought it online, but it is my size. I am a medium. Also, take a look at this picture. The common thing about all these pants, they are woman size 4.
Welcome to my world. Welcome to my world.
So, you can get the gist of the problem. Online retail is going to be the biggest opportunity for our next generation, and it is only going to grow from here. The problem is that they do not know how to gauge their customers properly, and when their customers are buying from the retailers online, there's a 60% chance that the clothes that they buy won't fit. We are many people of different body types, heights, widths, and a lot of brands do not support people who look like us, them, our friends, etc. So we end up having to return these items. This is money that the company loses, and it's an impression that we lose for the company. Like, we can say that we love a particular brand, but it doesn't fit, we can't buy from that brand again. So, and also brands fit differently than others. This is what also creates that confusion. Like, this is a size medium, for example, but a size medium somewhere else can fit way bigger on my body. And also, like I said earlier, the businesses online will lose money through these exchanges, through these returns, also through shipping and receiving, etc. But there's an opportunity for this. 95% of people that are under 70 shop online. I've shopped online. I'm pretty sure everyone in this room has shopped online. And the researchers who was questioned over 1,000 online shoppers found that over 63% of these shoppers returned online, if not more than once. And with my company, I have the ability to solve two problems from two different consumers. From the B2C perspective, we help those who like that particular brand stay with that brand. For the businesses, we'll bring your customers coming back and also retain your earnings, your savings, and your revenue. So, UniFiT is an AR-based mobile application platform that measures a person's body from the shoulders to the arms, to the feet, all the way up through every single inch of the person's body. Compares this data against different articles of clothing surrounded by different brands. So if you are a size medium, but you have a bit of a bigger chest than most people who are medium, you'll get recommended a shirt from different brands that have that specialty, that have that ability to fit that person's body. The data that is collected between the person's measurements is compared and then brought to the data itself for the company, and it is compared against different articles of clothing, the brands that they like to wear, how they like the clothes to fit, and the company can use that data as research data that they can use to create new clothes or new streamlined clothing to best support the consumers and make more revenue. And also, as the consumer shops online, UniFiT will recommend specific clothes that you like based on your previous shopping patterns. So the resources that I require is enough money so I can hire a technical co-founder. And I don't have a technical experience, I have no experience coding, and I'm looking for people that can help me create this mobile application and bring it to life. This is going to save a lot of people money, and it's going to save a lot of businesses money as well. It solves different problems from two different ends. I need someone that can be a front-end developer to design the application itself, and I need a back-end developer to run the things in the back end. Do you judges have any questions or comments?
Yeah, cool. I think it's a really cool idea, and you did a good job of articulating how big the problem is. The challenge I see is the tools the application's only going to be as valuable as the amount of clothing inventory from all the brands that are in it. What's your idea for getting all that clothing and getting the dimensions?
So the company already has this data and this information already stored in. They use models for the brand as they launch these new lines of clothing as their showcase for when they're bringing out new clothes. And so they take measurements of the models themselves, and they find, okay, this is how many measurements that we have to go up to for size large, extra large, extra large, small. and it just goes on and on. Does that answer your question?
Kind of. Are these in like inanimate models, like mannequins that they're using for sizing, or are they real people?
They use mannequins, and they also use like real life models that they use for the runways.
And then they make that data available to people?
Yes,
How's
they
it,
have to.
how's it made available?
You can go on sites like Statista. They have a lot of this information based on the specific brands that come out for like fall collections, spring collections. Like for example, Banana Republic, they come out with seasonal collections every year, and they have the information of such as like, okay, how tall a model was, or how big the waist was for a model in a men's size. So like for example, like the person would be like a size 30, and the length is a 32, and they'll make that clothing before they streamline and before they ship it out from their I forget what their distributor is located, but they'll send that information to the distributor, and then they'll make the adjustments for the smalls, mediums, and larges, and the length sizes, etc.
Cool, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all retailer based, that you would go and find the retail shops that provide this data, but for sites like Wish and those types of things, it wouldn't work because their data's not available? Is that how it works? Okay.
Correct. So my overall goal is to work with brands such as H&M, Primark, Old Navy, Banana Republic, Gap. It's because those businesses, as they are trying to gain the most revenue, those are the companies that are losing the most money, because they just don't have a true gauge of like who their new market is, as the new Gen Z is stepping into the generation from buying clothes.
So are you trying to solve a problem from a consumer standpoint? So your app is a native application where I turn it on and look at myself in the camera, and say if I want to pick H&M, then your app would then recommend and say, hey, based on your profile, you should be getting a large or medium or X, Y, and Z.
So it's half that is true. You take the picture of yourself, not the picture. You take the video live measurement of yourself using the AR technology, and then it uses that data for probably about like 30 minutes to an hour to make sure that all the data is algorithmed correctly, and then you are given a list of brands to shop from. Say for example, you're looking for a red t-shirt. You'll get a list of red t-shirts that fit you based on the measurements that you have. The top ones down to the bottom are going to be like the best fit for you based on these measurements. So it doesn't necessarily isn't specified on brand, unless the brand themselves want to pay that extra compensation to make themselves the #1 fit choice for your body.
How long have you been working on this for?
So this is an idea that I had back in 2015, but I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but the problem was that I didn't have the knowledge, I didn't have the connections, and I tried to start this project with my friends years ago, but as all they say about starting businesses with friends, it doesn't work. And so now that I have the connections, like Professor Shushta over here, that can help me provide feedback and also give me the resources that I can in order to make this dream happen of mine, I can do it now.
So the competition, I would assume, is the unitard you put on with the sensors?
The competition?
Like another competitive technology that's kind of doing this is the unitard that has all the sensors on it that can tell your exact proportions and then report that back.
So you'd think that a lot of competitors would be using that technology, but unfortunately they don't. Well, fortunately for me, unfortunate for them. M. Taylor is an indirect competitor that was actually featured on Shark Tank.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The problem is that they have a specific market that they tailor towards. That is a small portion of that market. They tailor towards men that are in their 40s, 50s, that have already well-established careers and are able to spend $150 on a pair of jeans, $600 on a new suit. People like my age don't have that kind of money to spend. And on top of that, the way that they take measurements is that they take a video of the person. So a person will literally stand there for a minute, turn over next minute, and then a tailor that somehow can take that video and measure the person from that point of view. It takes some time for the measurements to come in, and then they're given based on the measurements that the tailor took from your video, these are the sizes that you need to get for this specific suit, specific pants, and specific shirt.
So talk to me about how the augmented reality works. I work with augmented reality and I'm trying to figure out what the overlay would be.
So, when you say overlay, can you
Well,
can you
augmented
specify?
reality is putting a superimposed image over reality,
Right.
right? So what's the superimposed image? It's not measurements, right? It's, what would it be? Like
It would.
it's like the Pokemon appearing in front of your screen, but he's not really there. But
Do you
what
know-
would be that?
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
I'm assuming everyone here has an iPhone, correct? So a feature that the iPhone has is that they use AR technology to measure things from a distance. It's using that same augmented reality technology that we would use to measure another person. See, like right here, like you're measuring a rug on the floor, and it's giving you the dimensions from a live perspective. And these dimensions are pretty accurate as well. Like I've tried the iPhone's ability to measure objects before, and that's technology that already exists.
Mhm.
It's a matter of taking that same technology and putting it into a much more specific realm of things.
Just, sorry.
Yeah, how do you make money?
So we
'Cause that was, I didn't see that in the write-up.
So we would charge the businesses themselves. Like I said, my overall goal is to go after businesses such as H&M, Gap, and Banana Republic that have the have that disposable income to spend money on a service that would actually help them look into gaining more revenue and instead of looking after more expenses. This is a projected sales and also a revenue-based model that I've come up with last year. We have businesses that can choose up to whether you want to use it over and over again for a monthly fee, or you can do an annual fee, which is, like for example, like if you're a company that owns multiple brands under its tree, you would have to pay $100,000. And then if you're a single brand,
But before you get into the numbers, here's the piece I'm still trying to get my head around. So I'm a consumer.
okay.
How do I actually, like, how do you get me to download the app? How do you get the brands to kind of connect? Are you creating this marketplace? Like, what's the, like, putting aside the numbers for a sec, how do you actually connect everybody? And where's the money go?
So, for example, Snapchat, we'd have to spend money on that advertisement, but another thing too is that the consumers don't spend any money on our platform whatsoever. They pay money through us to buy that item from them. So it's not like consumers are charging extra fee to buy these clothes. Otherwise, that would just turn people away.
Are you handing off, so if I'm the consumer, I have your app, I do my size, and it says, okay, based on this, John, you know fit the Banana Republic, because they don't make XXX large,
right.
but you could fit, wherever. So then I click through to that website, and then you're basically passing like an affiliate marketing code,
Correct.
and then if I buy on that website, that brand is now kicking money back to you.
Correct.
Got it. All right, how do you plan on acquiring customers, like the retail, the consumer?
So most of our consumers, like I said, they're online shoppers, so they are bombarded with advertisements all the time as they're shopping online. So the direct website, that is another idea that I have, using search engine optimization, and then also using social media platforms such as Snapchat. Like for example, if you have heard of TikTok, TikTok is a free video editing software that is available on mobile applications. But the reason why that they were able to be the #1 app on the Play Store and on the App Store is because that they kept on repeating advertisements on Snapchat. Businesses advertise on Snapchat pretty much get the most revenue, even more than Instagram itself.
Okay, that's good, thanks.
One more question, or?
Are the financials in here? Can we get the?
Yeah, they're in the slideshow.
Oh,
So I remember the Shark Tank, because
Yeah.
you're talking, I'm like,
Yeah.
this sounds familiar to me. So you're saying there's a technology it's already existing that you're going to use. And
What
so-
would stop them from taking it, right? So you're right, that they do target to a higher consumer base or premium consumer base. But they already have the technology and the relationships, right? They can downstream it and say, instead of using the $150 pant, you can now go buy a $20 shirt.
Mm.
Because they already have you as a consumer, right? So
Right.
you don't necessarily have to buy a $150 jean, you could buy a $30 t-shirt if you wanted
That's
to.
true. You're right.
So how would you battle that?
Because, for example, like M. Taylor and some of the other brands that have done this step before is the thing is that they have specific markets that they tend to. My market is for people that are my age, people that are that are millennials and Gen Zs, pretty much like the overtaking market for the whole entire fashion retail market itself. And as people such as baby boomers are phasing out into, you know, buying less online and also like recessing into, you know, buying things as they traditionally have done, which is like buying from Walmart or buying from a retail store in person, that technology is not going to be necessary for them. So M. Taylor, like they specific solely on that, hey, I make $70,000 plus a year, I can spend the extra money on my clothes. And that is, they're not going to intend on going down in prices for any of their articles of clothing. Well, myself, I'm that competitive because I offer that good price point. I offer the brands that do charge less and do make you look good and make you feel good. And it's not stopping them from adopting that technology either. But M. Taylor has been on the market for over 4 years now, and they haven't changed their technology at all once.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.